The name Sara Gilbert brings back fond memories for viewers of the popular television show Roseanne. Since her time as Darlene Conner-Healy, Sara has faced and overcome several personal obstacles, all of which have undoubtedly shaped the person she is now. It has not been simple for her to deal with issues of celebrity connections and identity. The nuanced truths of beauty, weakness, and power abound in her narrative. Sara Gilbert, whose full name is Sarah Rebecca A. Bellis, was born in sunny Santa Monica, California, on January 29, 1975. She was raised by Jewish parents Harold Abels and Barbara Cowan. Julia Crane, a ballerina, was formerly Miss Brooklyn. Her maternal grandpa was the well-known Harry Crane, who created the Honeymooners. In 1984, she took on her mother's maiden name, Gilbert, after her first husband, Paul. In Hollywood, Sara's family is well represented. Joseph is her older half-brother, while Patrice is her older half-sister. Melissa and Jonathan Gilbert were two elder adopted siblings who starred in Little House on the Prairie. While she was married to actor Jonathan, her mother Barbara, who had previously wed her father Paul, adopted Jonathan and Melissa. Paul had a cerebral hemorrhage and died in 1975. Her parents Harold and Barbara divorced their marriage shortly after Paul's death. To follow her dream of becoming an actor, Sara changed her last name from Abels to Gilbert in 1984. Barbara Crane, her mother, worked for many years as a talent manager and producer in the entertainment industry. Sara was a talented and driven girl who aspired to be like her older half-siblings because she was competitive. She had wanted to be an actress ever since she seen her siblings' amazing belongings during the Little House on the Prairie show. At the early age of 13, she became well known after appearing in television films and even a Kool-Aid ad. On Roseanne, she played Darlene Conner, the astute middle kid. The show tracked Darlene's development from an artistic and politically active preteen to a politically active adolescent. Sara was a regular cast member for the 9 years the show lasted, from 1988 to 1997. She even developed the plot for the fourth season episode Don't Make Me Over since she was so crucial to the system as a whole. The producers had to alter the plot and schedule of the program significantly as a result of her perceptive remarks about Roseanne. Darlene was allowed to continue her education at Yale while still appearing on the show, and her scenes were filmed in New York instead of Hollywood. She was nominated for 2 Emmys for Best Supporting Actress in 1993 and 1994, and won 3 Young Artist Awards between 1991 and 1993 for her humorous and realistic portrayal of her character's teenage life. Sara was more than just a TV character. She was also successful in getting into the film industry, appearing in 2 films alongside Drew Barrymore. They rejoined with Riding in Cars with Boys in 2002 after making their stage debut together with Poison Ivy in 1992. In 1999, she also starred in Light It Up. While she was enjoying tremendous success, her father was struggling financially. Before he hit his lowest point, he was a successful lawyer. His 1983 divorce from her mother is the reason for this. When he first needed money, Sara was there to help. Their relationship was already in shaky shape before the pressure started. "I was 18 or 19 years old," she remembered, "and I was making more money than any teenager should have at that age. I only desired for him to be my dad." She eventually decided that she would no longer give her father money, but not before realizing how hard it must have been for him to even ask. The best choice is to give to people you care about, especially your family. When Harold became unwell in his latter years, Sara took over as his primary caretaker and remained so until his passing. When he really needed financial assistance, she refused to provide it to him, but she made an effort to make things right. Sara made inroads in Hollywood when Roseanne departed, landing supporting roles in films including $30, also known as $30, and High Fidelity, also known as $30, from the Boy's Life film. She even gave directing a go. While working on her 1998 short film Persona Non Grata, she made her stage debut in a production of Hot Lap Baltimore at the 2000 Williamstown Theater Festival in Massachusetts. Sara has been on a number of TV programs, such as 24 with The Simpsons, Will Grace Law Order, private practice and special victims unit. After finishing her education, Sara made a comeback to television in February 2004. For a number of seasons, she played the feisty medical student Jane Figler on the hit hospital drama ER. Seasons 11 and 13 included her as a guest. She had an appearance on the WB network sitcom Twins in February 2005. However, the job didn't last long because the program was cancelled after only one season due to a network merger. She occasionally played Fyrna Welch on the CBS comedy The Class. She portrayed Leslie Winkle on The Big Bang Theory from February 2007 to 2010. Is Leonard Hofstadter's astute sidekick to Johnny Galecki. Collaborating with Galecki was nothing new to her. He played her on-screen romantic interest in Roseanne, her debut television sitcom. At the time, they were vying for a romantic role on The Big Bang Theory. Because of her commitment and diligence, Sara's role on The Big Bang Theory was strengthened in season 2. She had evolved into the romantic interest of Galecki and Howard Wolowitz's characters. In February 2009, this persisted. The writers of the program began to struggle to include her into the plot at this time. Consequently, Sara's position shifted from regular cast member to occasional guest star. As Bernadette Rostenkowski and Amy Farrah Fowler rose to popularity, her character Leslie Winkle was pushed to the sidelines. The fact that she could now concentrate on other goals, such as co-hosting the program and gaining creative control, was a positive development. October 18, 2010 saw the release of a popular podcast. She co-created and produced the show, and she won a 2016 Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show for her outstanding performance on it. After 3 years, Sara left her role as co-host. After that, she returned to her job as executive producer for the resurrection of Roseanne. The 8 episodes were picked up by ABC. Additionally, they made their debut on March 27, 2018. There was a lot of positive anticipation for the show. Fans and reviewers alike were gushing over the concert. Because of this, they were able to choose a second season. However, celebrations were abruptly cut short on May 29, 2018, when a troll on the internet sparked controversy by spreading false information about former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett. Because of the controversy, ABC decided to end the show after just one season. Sara clarified that the online controversy had nothing to do with her or the show. However, the judgment that had already been rendered was unaffected by that knowledge. There have long been doubts about the show's stability. Roseanne had gone so far as to quit. Rumor has it, though, that this happens on site virtually every year. The management carefully considered their options before deciding to halt manufacturing. If Dan Conner's participation in the program is stopped, but when the show was canceled, ABC swiftly used the Roseanne scandal as a fresh chance. The Conners, a spin-off series, was officially unveiled on June 21, 2018. This sitcom would have the same beloved Roseanne ensemble, save for a few characters. Sara was an executive producer and actor in the sitcom, which debuted in October 2018. By combining Sara's TV company with Werner Entertainment in 2019, Sara and seasoned producer Tom Werner formed the formidable Sara plus Tom. They worked together on professional endeavors for 30 years. After 9 seasons, Sara was obliged to step down as co-host of the talk due to the start of their cooperation, which resulted from their successful connection with the Conners. At the start of season 10 in the fall, Marie Osmond was added to the CBS daytime talk show. Sara is an executive producer on both The Conners and a new Pittsburgh-based program called The Prey Deeps. Amazon Studios and Sony Pictures Television created this 8-part series, each lasting 30 minutes. Outside of her work on TV, the multi-talented diva had a busy artistic life. Sara found fulfillment in her personal connections in addition to her professional endeavors. During her teenage years, she was romantically connected with Johnny Galecki, with whom she co-starred on Roseanne and later on The Big Bang Theory. She came to terms with the fact that she was bisexual about this time. Coming clean to the public was a difficult process for her. She was open about wanting to go for it, even though she was already seeing someone 18 years her senior. She recalled that she had dated Johnny Galecki when she was younger. "He was my husband and my boyfriend on Roseanne. He was so cute that I fell head over heels for him. When we initially started dating, he would come over and we would kiss. I would then feel depressed though. Even after this was made public, she and Galecki continued to be friends. In February 2001, Sara began dating Ali Alder, a television producer. Alder welcomed their second child, a son named Levi Hank, in October 2004, and Sara became the delighted parent of their first child, a daughter named Sawyer Jane, in August 2007. Her relationship with Alder terminated, regrettably. Despite not knowing why, Sara was devastated to see her romance end. She had reflected deeply about philosophy as a result of the split. Marriage's legitimacy is being questioned, she said. Although I've never been married, I did have a committed relationship. It's difficult for me, because our relationship is finished. What factors help these couples stay together long into their 70s? Why does it take so long? I hope I'll be able to accept it as well. For a long time, Sara kept her sexuality a secret because she was afraid to talk about it in public. In July 2010, just before her talk show, The Talk, debuted, she made a significant announcement. She came out as a lesbian. Following the startling revelation, Sara claimed she was terrified of having her sexual orientation exposed in public or on the show. Even when I try to be confident or minimize the problem, I can't help but wonder what this is doing to my career. Sara has had a hard time coming to terms with her sexuality. Galecki, her ex-lover and Roseanne co-star, was instrumental in helping the actress accept her identity when she was younger and less outspoken. Sara had repressed this aspect of herself for a long time, fearing it would damage her acting career. But due to her ex-boyfriend Galecki's steadfast love and support, she was able to accept her sexuality. In extreme anguish, Sara described how Johnny had helped her through her ordeal. When I needed him, he helped me more than a straight male co-star would have. She went on to remark that her gratitude and joy for her life and identity are genuine feelings. For example, for a long time after I got engaged, I was telling myself, oh my, now I have to tell everyone. She also shared a heartwarming story of how she had warned Galecki not to bring it tis on the talk. To show his unfailing love and support, he even offered to appear on the show and hold her hand when she did it. These two are obviously very supportive of one another. Every photo they post on social media, whether it's a contemporary selfie or a promotional image from Roseanne's debut season, demonstrates their friendship. They often post sweet old pictures. Posts like this one have definitely saved me from going crazy in this crazy town, and I believe Sara Gilbert to be a kind person. Hi there, Soap. I cherish you. Their souls are clearly intertwined. The decades-long relationship between Galecki and Sara is truly amazing, despite their brief adolescent infatuation. When Sara talked about how they were together on and off television in 2018, she gave the finest account of their friendship. We simply have an undeniable spark in common. Some individuals share it with you, while others do not. Therefore, we count ourselves really lucky to have it. Sara explained to her fellow debate panelists on one episode how cameras caught the pair out on a walk over the weekend, revealing their growing bond with the former front lady of 4 Non-Blondes. I was taken aback by how quickly and widely my new romance appeared, and it became a national sensation overnight when I went out. Additionally, they were married on March 30th, 2014, following the announcement of their engagement in the spring of 2013, when their son Rhodes Emilio Gilbert Perry was born on a special day in February 2015. Their love story took a new turn. Adler claimed to have been very betrayed when Sara married Linda, despite the fact that at first it appeared like they were amicable about their separation. According to rumors, Sara caught her longtime partner Adler totally off guard when she left him for Perry. A source claims that after Sara and Linda were engaged, Allison took the final hit. It's unclear what caused Sara and Adler to split up. Despite her lucrative job and well-known public presence, Sara has always made an effort to keep her private life out of the spotlight. The identities of their husbands were disclosed in the press announcement for the CBS show, but Gilbert chose not to reveal her personal life. She had given a very good explanation of why she had made this choice. I will undoubtedly share more intimate details about my life on this talk program, but I didn't feel the need to share this information in a CBS News release. She could have felt uneasy sharing her story because of the impersonal tone of a formal press release. She went on to say that it seemed impersonal and that she would have preferred to speak with you in person to discuss all of those topics. In her post-talk statement, she said, "I found myself unable to prioritize self-care or give my 3 children the time I desired. This highlights her need for seclusion even more. Being a guest on a casual chat show might be challenging." She said it is reassuring to know she is no longer obliged to talk about any personal issues in her life. "I do think I wanted to challenge myself both academically and spiritually, but I don't want to think it was the only reason I was on the program." Sara exhibits a deep regard for her personal space and boundaries by disclosing personal details about her life. She decided to keep everything private to show that, especially in this day and age when it is normal for the public to scrutinize the lives of celebrities, people can and should have control over the narratives that are formed about their own lives. In addition to her need for seclusion, Sara's body was showing the effects of the many professional responsibilities she had carried for so long. After her 3rd kid was born, she stopped working out altogether. The rigorous routine had exhausted her both physically and mentally. Something has to give, she realized. She took a small step in the right way. She would just set aside 15 minutes a day to exercise. "I wanted to include exercise into my regimen to regain the emotional and physical benefits," she mentioned. Sometimes she would even find an hour to do yoga. Her body and mind benefited from these deliberate motions. She finally stopped ignoring her health. She regains the powerful impact of regular self-care with just 15 minutes every day. Her perseverance and dedication have yielded the intended results. 5 years after agreeing to break up with Perry, Sara filed for a formal separation from Linda. According to her, they parted ways on August 13, 2019, stating that their differences could not be resolved. Due to the unfavorable weather, the once inseparable couple legally filed for divorce on December 27, 2019. Linda discussed her connection with Sara during the 20th Art of Elysium Gala, which took place at the Hollywood Palladium in January. "She told me to stop worrying about the little things and to take things as they come since, like Sara, I am still on an amazing journey. Her presence touches me. She is too gorgeous to pass up." However, the couple finally filed for divorce on October 15, 2021, 2 years after their separation. The two well-known people were required to co-parent their child after being granted joint legal custody of him. Sara's work was her first priority. Luckily for Sara the Conners, her immensely popular program was back on the air at this time. "During my 3 months of treatment, Sara did discuss her emotional condition. With the help of ketamine, I managed to completely eradicate it. All of my emotions and tears are gone." She says her goal is to live a real life. "Things also get better, and we frequently say it gets better. However, I think it's important for people to realize that they're not alone. If they have trouble with it, it is more akin to a process." Sara's candor regarding her methodology demonstrates her depth.